Another game for the New York Jets against New England Patriots, another loss for the Jets, and another game where quarterback Zach Wilson didn't look good at all. New York Post sports columnist Mark Cannizzaro, he saw the Jets' 14th straight loss to the Pats, and he joins me now to talk about it. Unbelievable, Mark. They've lost 14 straight in a row to the Patriots. Are you shocked by this?
Well, I'm not shocked, but I'm a little bit shocked in the manner in which they lost at the end. I mean, the Jets special teams have been pretty good all year, and to give up that punt return was very eye-opening and obviously inexcusable. Horrible coverage. And, you know, I just wrote an extremely glowing column about Brant Boyer, their special teams coach, you know, about a month and change ago when they had a great run going. And now I look like an idiot, but that's not hard to do.
No. We're not going to say that. We're not going to say you look bad. Things happen. You know, it's sports. It can happen from time to time. Now, Mark, Zach Wilson, which is what we're going to talk a lot about here, he came up small again against the Pats. Which performance was worse in your eyes? The 3 picks that he threw in Week 8 against New England, or only completing 9 passes in Week 11?
You know, in this case here, and I'm making zero excuses for Zach for today, but the conditions were very difficult in Foxborough. I mean, I know the winds were gusting into the 30s. It was chilly. I feel like the performance in Game 1 a few weeks ago at the Meadowlands was a worse performance because he gave the ball away, which he didn't really do today. So he just didn't perform well today. I mean, both performances were very poor. But I thought the 2 interceptions that he threw in the second half in the first game, the first meeting between these teams, were, I mean, high school passes. I think we actually went on the air and did this. I think I said that to you the other day. They were just panicky, you know, scared in the pocket flings, just, you know, heaves into the secondary. Today was just a really bad performance on a difficult day to play quarterback. Neither quarterback played very well. But yeah, I think the first performance was worse, but today was terrible. It was putrid. You can't throw for 70-something yards for an entire game, you know, regardless of how bad the conditions are, and expect to win a game and put 3 points on the board.
Can't have that happen if you expect it to win a game. So it brings me to this question. Are performances like the ones that Wilson has had against New England, both games, are these performances holding this team back from their true potential this season?
There's no question. And I think that these 2 New England games, Dexter, are absolute. I mean, they're the poster children, so to speak, for how much he is holding them back. Because as I just referenced, he gave the ball away in the first game, which, I mean, he was the reason they lost that game, period, the end. Today, it's absolutely criminal that they lost that game the way that defense played today. I mean, they did a fantastic job against New England. Obviously, they were lucky a little bit because Nick Folk missed a couple of field goals, but that defense played great. Had a bunch of sacks again today. And for Zach Wilson to produce 3 points, Bill Parcells always said he judges quarterbacks by wins and getting his team into the end zone. And I gave Zach a little bit of a break this past week with a column I wrote, you know, saying, listen, he's 5-1, so you got to give him that, even though he's not getting his team into the end zone. Today, he lost and he didn't get his team in the end zone, and that was, you know, to me, inexcusable. 9 completions, not going to get it done.
Not a good day at all for Zach Wilson. Last thing here, Mark. If Wilson's play doesn't improve in Week 12, do you think there will be pressure on Robert Saleh to make a change at QB?
I think if it keeps looking like it did today, that there should be pressure. You know, a couple of weeks ago when they elevated Mike White to number 2 and put Joe Flacco down to 3, I thought maybe that was a little tacit message, you know, to Zach that, you know, now, you know, Mike White, who was kind of a hero last year that everybody loved when he went in that big Cincinnati game they won. You know, they have a home game next Sunday against Chicago, which is not a very good team. You know, they're a similar team. Well, listen, this team Jets should beat, I would think. And if he starts as poorly as he played this week, I mean, I think Robert Saleh's got to look to Mike White, you know, and, you know, the arguments to be made that, oh, this is Zach Wilson's team, you know, this is all about learning what Zach Wilson can do this season. Well, the Jets, they had a 6, you know, I mean, this team had a chance to be in first place after today with a win. And you know, this is the second game this season that the Jets should have won against New England and didn't. And so, listen, I think the Jets have been, in my opinion, I think they've been pandering Wilson. too much. I think there's too much soft love, at least publicly, for him. I think there needs to be a little bit of tough love. I think that Wilson needs to take more accountability than he has. I don't like some of the things I hear coming from him after losses like today, where I don't feel like he's taking enough accountability and responsibility for his performances. And I feel like maybe it's time for Robert Saleh to shake the tree a little bit and rattle his cage.
Well, Mark, you know this. If he does not play well in Week 12, the fans will be chanting for Mike White. The Mike White Hive will be back out there. We will see what happens next week. The Jets, as Mark said, had a chance to be in first place in the AFC East today. Instead, they dropped to the bottom of the division. That is Mark Cannizzaro, New York Post sports columnist. Mark, good to talk some Jets football with you. Thank you.
Anytime, Dex. Thanks for having me on.